Hello, friend. Welcome back, or welcome for the first time. I'm glad that you're here. Today, I want to talk to you about a voice that most of us hear far too often. It doesn't yell, it doesn't throw a tantrum, it just whispers. This is probably a bad idea. You're not really going to do that, are you? Who do you think you are? Yep, that is the inner critic voice. What does your inner critic voice sound like? Especially when you're trying to do something new. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. And you can be really excited about something, and then you start to hear the voice. Don't do it. You're going to be judged. What if you fail? What if they laugh at you? And suddenly your heart sinks. And whatever you were doing, you stop. You walk away. If your inner critic voice has been visiting you a lot lately, especially when you're trying to be brave and honest and starting something new, you are not alone. I'm Lynette Melnick. I'm an artist, educator, and creative empowerment coach, and I love to help creatives and entrepreneurs so that you can move past your fears and build your confidence and grow your creativity, especially when that inner critic starts to get loud. And if you're looking for that kind of support, you'll find some links below, including some of the courses and creative workshops that I put on. And now, let's talk about that inner critic voice, which we all face, and let's shift that perspective on it. Because maybe, just maybe, it's not against us. It's just being misunderstood. Now take a deep breath and lean in, because I'm going to be sharing 4 ways to shift your perception of the inner critic voice. And the first one is, it's not a cruel inner critic voice. And think of it as, it usually shows up when you're at the edge of your comfort zone. You're trying something new. And imagine that your comfort zone is this round, big round area, and that you feel safe in and comfortable, and you do a lot of great things in it. And in the distance is your inner critic, and it's set up camp there. It's made a tent, it's built a campfire, it's making dinner. It's just waiting for you to come closer. And you will, because you grow and you stretch and you're trying something new and you're speaking your truth, and that's when it shows up. And its job is to keep you safe. And in its mind, safe means staying small, staying quiet, staying familiar, because it doesn't want you growing outside of the comfort zone. And your inner critic voice isn't trying to ruin you. It's trying to protect you from what it thinks is danger. And the danger could be rejection, embarrassment, disappointment. So even if this might sound a little simplistic, but I want you to think about it this way. What if when that inner critic voice shows up, you said to it, "Thank you for wanting to keep me safe, but I'm okay, and I'm growing, and I'm going to do it anyways." And by doing it, you're also giving permission for yourself to grow and continue on. And with this whole thinking of it's on the edge of your comfort zone, this means that you cannot banish your inner critic forever, because every time you grow, it will always come back. Your comfort zone is growing, and it has set up camp at the next edge of your comfort zone and will be waiting for you. But the great thing is that each time it returns, you will know what to do. You can say, "Oh, hello, I see you again. That means I'm stretching and I'm growing." And you say the same thing. "Thank you for being here. Thank you for trying to keep me safe. I'm going to go ahead and do what I need to do anyways." And I would love for you to try this and let me know how it works for you. And the second shift in perspective that I want to tell you about is the thought about when fear shows up, when that inner critic voice is there, it means that you care. And this might surprise you. because your inner critic is actually a sign that you care. You don't get anxious about things that don't matter. You don't overthink things that don't matter to you, that you don't care about. That fear, that hesitation, it's proof that your work matters to you. So instead of letting the inner critic stop you, let it remind you, this must be so important to me, and that's why I feel so vulnerable about doing it, and I'm allowing that inner critic to come in. So when my inner critic pops up, I think, oh, this is good. That must mean that I'm doing something that really matters to me, and I'm not a failure. I hear that inner critic voice trying to keep me safe, but I'm not stopping. It's because I care. And I'm not saying this is going to be easy, but the more you do it and the more you're aware of it, the more you get used to it as you're growing. Each time it gets easier. So the next time when you feel resistance, try saying, this fear, it's proof that I'm creating with heart. And that's something that I won't apologize for. And the third shift in perspective, and this is one of my favorite ways to help clients deal with that inner critic voice, and it is to give the inner critic a name and give it a personality. And why, you may say, or you may ask, because it separates the inner critic from you. It helps you remember the voice is not your soul, it's not your truth, it's just part of your wiring. It's human nature. It shows up in us. And for me, I'll give you examples. I have several of them, but two examples are Olivia Overwhelm, and she shows up and makes me want to freeze. She wants to leave me unsure of what I'm doing, and then she makes me question and go, I say to myself, what happened to my ability to make decisions? So that's what Olivia Overwhelm does for me. Another one that I have is Fraudulent Franny. And she will say, who am I trying to do? Who am I trying to do this for? What am I trying to be? Can I really do this? I don't have the experience. And for each of these critic voices, I have created a hero voice, a superpower. So, for example, for Olivia Overwhelm, my superpower voice is Clarity Clara. And she lets me breathe and pause and break down what I want to do in all the little steps I need to do. And that takes away my overwhelm. And then for Fraudulent Franny, my superpower is Let Your Light Shine, Liz. And this is why you can have such fun with these names. But Liz, she says, I am good enough. I can do this. And she gives me the courage to take that next step, to gain more confidence, and to let my light shine. And this may sound silly, but it is a lot of fun. And especially when you're dealing with this inner critic, you need to have fun with it. So I would love for you to try it, because the moment you name the critic, it loses power. And the moment you name your hero and your superpower, you regain your power. That's really quite magical. I'll tell you a story. I remember one night, it was before a big presentation the next day, and I was starting to spiral out of control. That inner critic was in my mind, and I was going downwards. And that voice, it was Fraudulent Franny, was telling me that, oh, you're underqualified. They're going to see right through you, that you don't know what you're talking about. And you better cancel because you're going to look like a fool. And you can see where I was going. And so I sat down and I had a conversation, and I actually wrote it down, which helped me writing it instead of this mess that was happening in my head. And so I'd write one section and it would be Fraudulent Franny, and it would say, you're going to fail. And then I'd write down, no, actually, I'm ready. And I've done the work and I'm showing up anyways. And so I went through a few of these until I felt much better about it. And the next day, which was presentation day, I still felt really nervous, but I wasn't frozen, and I didn't feel that I didn't know what I was doing. I felt confident that I knew what I was doing. And so it went really well after that. but because I had chosen which voice was going to lead me. And I want you to pick your own name and have some fun with it. And I would love for you to share them in the comments what you come up with, because come up with your own version and what is your inner critic saying, and then come up with a name. It's great fun. I think you'll have a great time with it. And the fourth perspective, shift in perspective that I want to talk to you about is you are not the voice. You are the one who moves forward. And let me say this again. You are not the voice that says you can't. You are the one who hears that voice and moves forward anyways. You are not the fear, nor the critic, nor your past mistakes. You are the one that keeps showing up. The one who says, even if I feel unsure, I will still create. And the critic may be shouting really loud as it can, but your soul gets the final say. So when your inner critic says, oh, you're not good enough, you might say, maybe. I'm still learning, but I'm showing up. Or your inner critic will say, you're going to mess this up. And you might say, yeah, maybe, but I'll keep going. That shift in power is so amazing. So if your critic has been really loud lately, 1, think that it is trying to keep you safe. 2, it's a great reminder that you care about what you are doing. 3, have fun, name it. Separate it from your true self. Give it its own separate entity. And 4, you are not a voice. You are the superpower that moves forward. Then you go and make something. You write something, you sketch, you paint, you lead people, you move, you empower others, you learn something new. Even if it's tiny, even if it's messy, even if no one sees it yet. Because your creativity, in whatever form it is not about being perfect. It's about being present. It's about choosing truth in the face of doubt and that inner critic. You don't need to be fearless to create. You just need to stop giving the loudest voice the final say. Make sure your voice is the final say. You are not the doubt. You are the artist. You are not the hesitation. You are the heartbeat that keeps going. And you don't need to do this perfectly. You just need to stay connected to why you started. And thank you for being here today. If this spoke to you, please share it with somebody who really needs to hear it. And like and tell me what you think in the comments. I always love reading them. And check the links below to see, you can sign up for my newsletter, and also you can find out about my exciting workshops that are coming up. And you've got this. You are not alone. Really, you are not alone. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.